So tell us about how was to get Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba to be in your game, because that's we are having more of this right now, like these huge Hollywood stars in the games, but but there are not a lot, right? And then I remember, because I was in that conference, that Xbox conference, I was in the theater.
I was there too.
When
Keanu walked out in
nowhere,
2019.
Keanu just and it didn't leak. That was crazy, because everything leaks.
I have
right?
so many stories to tell you about this.
How was it?
So, God, this is such a huge topic. But so Keanu Reeves, actually, in our files and in our communication, we never called him by name and surname, so that he won't leak by accident. So he was called Mr. Fusion.
Mr. Fusion.
Yes,
Why?
he was called so that it has no reference to him whatsoever. So,
or his characters,
or
or
his
anything.
character, or anything. It had to be irrelevant. It had to be something else. So he was Mr. Fusion, and even when we were like preparing the whole thing with the E3, it was also like Mr. Fusion. You know, when we were arranging, you know, him being there and all of those things. And I was on a theater as well. Like, I remember I was just, because like I think it happened like somewhat in the middle, like 15 minutes in or something, and I roughly knew when it's going to happen, and I was just sitting there just waiting for this, because we've been cooking it for so long, right? I mean, you could see how well everything was orchestrated, right? The whole trailer was at the end with the reveal of his face, right? With the reveal of his character. Then he walked in on the stage, and what he said, of course, you know, "You're breathtaking" was completely accidental, you know, so that was also like a meme moment that kind of helped, you know, because everyone was just excited. And it was funny because like Keanu couldn't like finish what he was supposed to tell people. Like, I think it was also like you could see that he was like taken away by the reception.
Yes.
I think he kind of didn't completely understand how big it is what he's doing and how big of a deal it will be when he walked there, and just the reaction made him like, you know, you could see that he was trying to like speak. So it was amazing to see. So when it comes to like how it happened, the thing was that quite early in the story, we knew that we will be looking for a person that we would like to cast for Johnny Silverhand. And we were looking for a personality that could really, really, really carry that role, you know, and could really be a person that that would fit, you know. And with our conversations between us and, you know, our managers who are handling like work with the stars, there was like, you know, there were names and, you know, the name of Keanu Reeves. Of course, I would say probably, I mean, I didn't really believe it's possible to get him completely, because like, I mean, you know, he wasn't, I think he was before just in the Fortnite as a scan, and that was it. Like, yeah, you know, but that was
some Matrix game, whatever.
Oh yeah, there was something like that. But basically, like, he doesn't really do games. You know, that's not something he does. And also, like, of course, you know, he's an experienced actor. He did a lot of like mocap because that's a common thing you do nowadays in the movies on a green screen. So he knows how those things work. But he didn't really do games before. So I wasn't really thinking that this would work. But it turned out that he's actually interested when we pitched it to him. So basically, in situations like this, the way it works, you just like set up a meeting. You have people who are prepared to pitch it to the actor. In our case, it's normally like the director of the story and a couple other people go in, like make the pitching, you know, try to explain who the character is, what the storyline is going to be, and so on. And it was interesting because like he was immediately into it. He was like immediately into it. Like we have a recording from that session because I wasn't present in person, but I have a full recording of a session that happened there. And I saw like he immediately like, you know, had suggestions about how the character could be played, you know, what are the points of emphasis, which later actually we end up using, you know, a lot of the things that he felt that would work. So it's interesting because like from this point on, at the moment when you already have an actor as a designer, you start writing the quests and start writing the scenes and dialogues for the actor, right? So in our case, we had a story and he was like casted for that role. But then from this point on, everything else that we did for him. So, and you could see it actually in Phantom Liberty as well, that we learned actually how to write better lines for Keanu. That he is just simply like, okay, there's a couple things that happen. So first of all, he just knows the character better. I think throughout the years, you could see that like he just became better Johnny Silverhand. He just understands the character better, knows what he's about, his struggles, the ways of his acting, you know, and so on. So that's one thing. And that happened clearly. But also we learned how to write him better. You know, what is the, because like when you have an actor who is a characteristic actor, who doesn't play like any role, but has plays like specific characters, and Keanu had a lot of like history of like a lot of cyberpunk actors, cyberpunk roles that he played, you know, Johnny Mnemonic, Matrix, all of that. So he had a lot of history with that. So we were sort of slowly building on that impression, let's call it. And then in time, we learned, okay, how his character sounds best when he's in what way he should be written. And that's really what happened. So on our side, we just started like sort of designing better for him, but he also understood how to perform better. And this is what really happened from 2077 to Phantom Liberty. And one last, I think, cool behind the scenes story info for Keanu on Phantom Liberty, it was actually that he was really into it. Like he actually, like I think I know he knows. It's not I think. I know he knows how well his character was received by the players in 2077. And he knows this. So he was really into actually playing more and giving more for Phantom Liberty. And just, he really wanted his role to be deeper and bigger and so on. So that was a really cool thing, because it's like, one thing is to have a Hollywood star who's a good actor who can perform, but another is when that person is really into the role. It just really brings a lot, you know. So that's the story for the Keanu.